Welcome to Ancient Astronauts. I'm your host, Ben Carter. In the depths of the ancient Egyptian sands lies one of humanity's most enduring marvels, the Great Pyramid of Giza. This colossal monument, standing majestically in the desert, has long been shrouded in mystery. Its construction, attributed to the pharaoh Khufu around 2600 BC, defies conventional understanding of the technological capabilities available at that time. How could a civilization with no cranes, no iron tools, and no knowledge of the wheel construct such a monument? Some have proposed that the answer lies not in our understanding of earthly history, but in the possibility of extraterrestrial intervention. The pyramid's precise alignment with the stars, its intricate internal chambers, and the sheer scale of the blocks used in its construction suggest an advanced understanding of astronomy, architecture, and engineering. But where could such knowledge have originated in a society that, by conventional historical accounts, was still in the Bronze Age? These anomalies have led some to question whether the ancient Egyptians were the sole architects of the pyramid, or whether they might have had assistance from an otherworldly source. One theory proposes that the Great Pyramid and other similar structures around the world may be physical evidence of encounters with extraterrestrial visitors. These visitors, so the theory goes, shared their advanced knowledge with the ancient Egyptians, enabling them to construct architectural marvels that continue to baffle us today. But could this theory also provide an explanation for another enduring mystery of human culture, the universal prevalence of fairy tales? Fairy tales, like the ancient pyramids, are found in cultures around the world. Their timeless themes and archetypal characters resonate across geographical and cultural boundaries, suggesting a common origin. But where did these stories come from? Could they, like the pyramid, be artifacts of ancient encounters with extraterrestrial beings? Consider the fairy tale of Cinderella, told in over 500 versions across different cultures. The story's central motif, a downtrodden heroine who is magically transformed and elevated above her circumstances, could be interpreted as an allegory for the human race's own evolution and potential for transformation. Could the fairy godmother, with her miraculous powers, represent an advanced alien being intervening in human affairs? Or take the tale of Jack and the Beanstalk, with its giant living in the sky and the miraculous beanstalk that allows Jack to ascend to this elevated realm. Could this be a metaphor for an ancient encounter with beings from the sky and the advanced technology they used to traverse the heavens? The fairy tales we know today may be heavily embellished and stylized interpretations of these encounters, passed down through the generations and adapted to different cultural contexts. Yet at their core, they retain elements that hint at a possible extraterrestrial origin. The idea that fairy tales might be memories of ancient alien encounters is certainly speculative, but it invites us to consider the possibility that human history and culture may have been shaped by forces far beyond our own planet. As we delve deeper into this intriguing theory, we may find that fairy tales, like the Great Pyramid of Giza, are not merely relics of our past, but keys to understanding our place in the cosmos. To fully grasp the weight of this theory, it's important to delve into the cultures from which these fairy tales originate. Imagine the ancient world, a time when civilization was in its infancy and much of existence was shrouded in mystery. It was a time when the concept of science was yet to be born, technology was rudimentary at best, and mythology was an integral part of life. In societies such as ancient Greece, Egypt, and the indigenous tribes of the Americas, mythological beings played a central role. These beings were often described as coming from the sky or having powers beyond human comprehension, creating landscapes, controlling elements, or bestowing knowledge. For example, in Native American lore, the Sky People were said to have descended from the heavens, bringing with them wisdom and tools. In ancient Sumer, tales speak of the Anunnaki, deities who came from the sky and were credited with advancing civilization. These mythologies were deeply intertwined with the spiritual beliefs of the time. Many societies held a belief in divine intervention, where gods or celestial beings would directly influence human affairs. This was often seen as a guiding force, leading humanity along the path of evolution and development. Imagine for a moment that these celestial beings were not gods or mythical creatures, but extraterrestrial life forms. The advanced technology they possessed could have easily been interpreted as divine power by societies that had not yet unlocked the secrets of technology. This perspective adds a new dimension to our understanding of ancient civilizations and their interactions with the unknown. In addition to mythology and spirituality, let's consider the technological capabilities of these ancient civilizations. Many archaeological findings, such as the Great Pyramids of Egypt or the Nazca Lines in Peru, still confound modern scientists due to their precision and scale, which seem to surpass the technological abilities of their time. These structures, often connected to spiritual or mythological beliefs, could potentially be evidence of extraterrestrial intervention. The theory that fairy tales are memories of ancient alien encounters is fascinating when examined within this context. It proposes that these stories, rife with magical beings and supernatural occurrences, might be the echo of real interactions between our ancestors and extraterrestrial life forms. These beings, perceived as gods or mythical creatures, could have guided human evolution, leaving us with myths and fairy tales as remnants of these encounters. This perspective invites us to look beyond the surface of these ancient tales, opening a new pathway of interpretation. It proposes that fairy tales, like the mysteries of the ancient world, might hold more than just moral lessons. They may indeed carry echoes of our past interactions with extraterrestrial beings and could be instrumental in understanding our place in the cosmos. Delving deeper into the annals of history, we uncover various texts, monuments, and mythic sources that add to the credibility of the ancient astronaut theory. These artifacts, scattered across the globe, paint a vivid picture of possible encounters between our ancestors and extraterrestrial life forms. For instance, consider the ancient Sumerian texts, the earliest known form of written communication. Among these cuneiform scripts, there exists an extensive collection of tales that recount interactions between humans and Anunnaki, or those who from heaven to earth came. The texts describe these beings as superior entities who descended from the sky, imparting knowledge and wisdom to mankind. Could these Anunnaki be extraterrestrial beings that our ancestors perceived as gods? Similarly, the Indian epic Mahabharata, dating back to the 8th century BC, is replete with accounts of Vimana, or flying chariots, and astras, weapons of unfathomable power. In one instance, the narrative describes a weapon that, when launched, produced an incandescent column of smoke and flame as bright as 1,000 suns, a description eerily reminiscent of a nuclear explosion. The technological sophistication portrayed in these accounts surpasses the known capabilities of the time, suggesting a potential extraterrestrial influence. Ancient monuments, too, seem to echo this narrative. The Nazca Lines in Peru, massive geoglyphs etched into the Earth's surface, depict various animals and shapes visible only from a considerable height above the ground. These intricate designs, constructed between 500 BC and 500 AD, continue to baffle scientists regarding their purpose and the technology used for their creation. Were these massive artworks created for terrestrial viewers, or were they intended for beings observing from above, in the sky, or perhaps even space? The Dogon tribe in Mali presents another intriguing piece of the puzzle. Despite their isolation, the tribe possesses detailed knowledge about the Sirius star system, including the existence of a dwarf star invisible to the naked eye, a fact only validated by modern science in the 19th century. The tribe attributes this knowledge to their ancestral contact with extraterrestrial beings called Nomo, who they claim originated from the Sirius system. The Aboriginal oral legends of Australia also tell tales of the Wandjina, celestial beings that descended from the sky to create the earth and teach mankind various survival skills. The Wandjina are often depicted in ancient rock art, with large white faces framed by helmets and big black eyes, a representation that bears striking similarities to modern-day depictions of extraterrestrials. In conclusion, these ancient texts, monuments, and legends from across the globe seem to suggest a narrative that aligns with the ancient astronaut theory. They all echo stories of advanced beings descending from the sky, imparting knowledge, and influencing the course of human history. Could these be mere myths and exaggerated tales? Or could they be remnants of our ancestors' encounters with extraterrestrial life forms? The answer lies shrouded in the mists of time, waiting for us to uncover the truth. The core theory of ancient astronaut hypothesis advances the idea that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in antiquity, influencing the development of human societies. This idea, while challenging the established historical and archaeological narratives, has found intriguing circumstantial support in numerous anomalies and unexplained phenomena. One of the most compelling elements in this discussion is the uniformity of advanced knowledge across civilizations that supposedly had no contact with each other. The ancient Egyptians, Mayans, and Chinese, for instance, developed complex astronomical knowledge, including precise calendars and sophisticated astrological systems. They built monumental structures with strikingly similar architectural features, such as pyramids, despite vast geographical and cultural distances. These phenomena are difficult to explain by conventional theories of independent development or cultural diffusion. Another puzzling aspect is the existence of OOPArts, or out-of-place artifacts, objects that seem too advanced for their time or that reveal knowledge that shouldn't have been possible. The Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek device found in a shipwreck, has been described as the world's first analog computer, dating back to 200 BC. The Baghdad battery, a set of artifacts from ancient Mesopotamia, appears to demonstrate a rudimentary understanding of electricity. Both examples imply a level of technological sophistication that contradicts our understanding of historical timelines. The tales of gods from the sky, common in numerous cultures, add another layer to the mystery. From the Greek gods descending from Mount Olympus to the Vedic deities arriving on flying chariots, the recurring theme of divine beings from the heavens might be interpreted as primitive interpretations of extraterrestrial encounters. Then there are the complex constructions that baffle modern engineers, such as the Great Pyramids of Egypt or the megalithic stones of Baalbek in Lebanon. These structures exhibit engineering and mathematical precision that seems beyond the capabilities of the societies that built them. How these ancient civilizations managed to construct such monumental structures without the aid of modern machinery remains an enigma. Lastly, there's the issue of the sudden emergence of civilization itself. Around 10,000 BC, human societies transitioned almost abruptly from nomadic hunting and gathering to settled agriculture and city building, a leap that some theorists attribute to extraterrestrial intervention. The ancient astronaut theory, while certainly controversial, offers an alternative perspective to these historical anomalies, suggesting that the influence of non-human entities might have played a part in our ancestral past. While far from being universally accepted, it opens a fascinating dialogue, questioning our understanding of history, archaeology, and ultimately, our place in the universe. To delve deeper into the enigma, we should consider the scientific and archaeological evidence that lends weight to this theory. For instance, the relics of Puma Punku in Bolivia are baffling. These stone structures dating back to 536 AD are crafted with such precision and complexity that even modern technology would struggle to replicate them. The stones, some weighing over 100 tons, are interlocked with intricate laser-like precision, leading some to question the technological capabilities of the ancient Andean culture that supposedly constructed them. In Egypt, the pyramids of Giza are another source of wonder. Built around 2500 BC, their construction required an understanding of mathematical concepts that wouldn't be discovered until centuries later. The pyramids are aligned with true north with an accuracy of 3/60ths of a degree, a level of precision that baffles modern engineers. Moreover, the Pyramid of Cheops encodes the dimensions of the Earth at a scale of 1/43,200, a correlation that seems far from coincidental. This astronomical precision raises questions about the knowledge and capabilities of the ancient Egyptians. Another intriguing clue is found in carbon dating inconsistencies. The Sphinx, an iconic symbol of ancient Egypt, has sparked debate among geologists and archaeologists. Geological evidence suggests that the Sphinx might be much older than traditionally believed. Water erosion patterns on the monument indicate a construction date of 7000 BC or earlier, a time when the region experienced substantial rainfall. This predates the Egyptian civilization by several millennia, suggesting an unknown or misrepresented period of advanced civilization. Moving from archaeological to genetic evidence, the human genome itself might hold clues. Geneticist Dr. Francis Crick, who co-discovered the structure of DNA, proposed the theory of directed panspermia. He suggested that life on Earth may have been seeded by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Moreover, the discovery of junk DNA, non-coding sections of our DNA, have further fueled this speculation. Some theorize that this junk DNA could be a dormant or deactivated extraterrestrial genetic code, a sort of cosmic time capsule waiting for the right conditions to activate. These scientific and archaeological clues, while not definitive proof, add substantial weight to the ancient astronaut theory. Impossible construction techniques, astronomical precision, carbon dating inconsistencies, and anomalous genetic findings all point towards the possibility of an extraterrestrial influence on our ancestral past. The fairy tales we've grown up with may be more than just fanciful stories. They could be echoes of our species' encounters with beings from beyond our world. As we probe further into this fascinating theory, we continue to question our understanding of history, archaeology, and our place in the universe. Despite the mounting evidence suggesting the possibility of extraterrestrial influence in our ancient past, mainstream academia has largely dismissed or downplayed the ancient astronaut theory. Historians, archaeologists, and anthropologists alike have been largely critical, viewing this perspective as a radical reinterpretation of established historical and archaeological facts. The primary argument against the ancient astronaut theory is the principle of Occam's razor, a problem-solving principle that, when presented with competing hypotheses to solve a problem, one should select the solution with the fewest assumptions. Critics argue that to explain the architectural marvels of past civilizations or the origins of life on Earth, it is more plausible to attribute them to human ingenuity and natural processes, rather than the intervention of advanced extraterrestrial beings. Another point of contention is the interpretation of ancient texts and depictions. Academia has largely interpreted these as symbolic or religious expressions, not literal accounts of alien encounters. Critics argue that the ancient astronaut theory cherry-picks data while ignoring cultural and historical contexts. They claim that this theory often relies on false equivalencies, using similarities in mythology or artwork from different cultures as evidence of a common extraterrestrial source. Governments, too, have been reluctant to endorse such theories. Conspiracy theorists have long alleged that governments around the world possess evidence of extraterrestrial life, but choose to suppress it, fueling speculation and distrust. However, no concrete evidence has emerged to substantiate these claims, and skeptics argue that such theories thrive more on sensationalism than on verifiable facts. The institutional dismissal of the ancient astronaut theory has not deterred its proponents. They argue that mainstream academia's resistance is not merely an academic disagreement, but a symptom of a larger problem: the gatekeeping of knowledge and the resistance to challenge established paradigms. This, they assert, has stifled innovative thought and prevented us from exploring alternative explanations of our past. The pattern of rejection and ridicule of the ancient astronaut theory mirrors the treatment of many radical ideas throughout history. Whether it's Galileo championing heliocentrism in a geocentric world, or Alfred Wegener proposing the then ridiculed theory of continental drift, history is replete with examples of revolutionary ideas initially met with derision, only to be later accepted as mainstream thought. The debate surrounding the ancient astronaut theory highlights a fundamental tension in the pursuit of knowledge: the need for rigorous scrutiny of evidence against the openness to challenge established narratives. As we delve deeper into our understanding of the universe and our place in it, perhaps we should remember that the boundaries of what is considered credible or ridiculous have shifted many times in the past, and may indeed shift again. Venturing deeper into the realm of ancient astronaut theory, we find ourselves exploring the spiritual interpretations of these alleged extraterrestrial encounters. Many ancient civilizations across the globe have tales of godlike beings descending from the sky, possessing extraordinary abilities and knowledge beyond human comprehension. These heavenly beings are often painted as divine figures, worshipped and revered for their seemingly supernatural powers. In classical Greek mythology, we find numerous accounts of gods descending from Mount Olympus to interact with humans. Zeus, the king of gods, for instance, was known for his shape-shifting abilities and his penchant for visiting Earth. Could these stories of shape-shifting and celestial travel be interpreted as ancient accounts of extraterrestrial beings with advanced technology? Moving across the world, we encounter the Hindu pantheon of gods, each with their unique abilities and attributes. Lord Vishnu, one of the principal deities, is often depicted riding Garuda, a giant bird-like creature. Could this be an early interpretation of a spacecraft, a vehicle allowing the deity to traverse the skies? And what of Vishnu's multiple avatars, each with a different form and purpose? Could this be a primitive understanding of advanced alien technology, like holography or genetic engineering? The Aboriginal people of Australia tell stories of the Wandjina, powerful beings who descended from the sky, controlling the elements and bringing life. These beings are often depicted in ancient rock art with large white faces and big black eyes, an image that strikingly resembles the popular depiction of aliens today. Is this mere coincidence, or could it be a visual record of actual encounters with extraterrestrial beings? The ancient Egyptian civilization offers yet another perspective. They worshipped a pantheon of gods, many of whom were associated with celestial bodies. Ra, the sun god, was believed to traverse the sky in a solar bark, a vessel that could travel across the heavens. Could this be a metaphorical representation of an advanced spaceship? In these examples, we see a recurring motif of beings from the sky, possessing extraordinary abilities and knowledge, often depicted traversing the heavens in some form of vehicle. To the ancients, these beings were gods. But through the lens of the ancient astronaut theory, they could be viewed as extraterrestrial visitors, interpreted as deities due to their advanced technology and knowledge. The question then is not whether these stories are mere myths or literal accounts of historical events. Rather, it is whether they could be both, whether our ancestors, in their attempts to understand these extraordinary encounters, transformed them into tales of gods and divine beings. This interpretation not only challenges our conventional understanding of mythology and religion, but also opens up new avenues for exploring our past and our place in the universe. As this theory has grown in popularity, it has begun to permeate modern media and culture in myriad ways. Documentaries, books, podcasts, and online communities have all taken up the mantle of exploring and promoting this fascinating perspective. A significant factor in the modern resurgence of the ancient astronaut theory was the publication of Erich von Daniken's book, Chariots of the Gods, in 1968. This book proposed that the technologies and religions of many ancient civilizations were given to humanity by extraterrestrial beings. It quickly became a bestseller and sparked a widespread interest in the theory that has not waned in the subsequent decades. Following Daniken's work, a myriad of authors have delved into this theory, each bringing their unique perspective and research, further enriching the discourse. Zecharia Sitchin's The 12th Planet and its sequels, for example, propose that the ancient Sumerian gods were, in fact, a race of aliens known as the Anunnaki. The documentary genre has also played a pivotal role in popularizing the ancient astronaut theory. The long-running television series, Ancient Aliens, airing on the History Channel since 2010, has been instrumental in bringing this theory to a broader audience. Its exhaustive exploration of the evidence supporting the theory, coupled with its high production values, has ensured its continued popularity. Podcasts, too, have contributed to the theory's dissemination. Shows like The Unexplained with Howard Hughes and Mysterious Universe often delve into aspects of the ancient astronaut theory, discussing it with a blend of skepticism and open-mindedness that encourages listeners to draw their own conclusions. Online communities have also been crucial in the modern resurgence of the theory. Websites, forums, and social media platforms have provided platforms for individuals to discuss, debate, and share research related to the ancient astronaut theory. These virtual spaces have enabled people from around the globe to connect over their shared interest, fostering a sense of community and camaraderie. The influence of the ancient astronaut theory on the public imagination is undeniable. It has inspired a plethora of science fiction works, from movies and television shows like Stargate and Prometheus, to novels such as Arthur C. Clarke's 2001: A Space Odyssey. These creative works, in turn, contribute to the ongoing fascination with the theory and its potential implications. As this theory continues to make waves in modern culture, it challenges us to reassess our understanding of human history, provokes thought, and stirs the imagination. It compels us to look at our past with fresh eyes and to ponder on the possibilities that lie beyond our known universe. Whether one believes in the ancient astronaut theory or not, its cultural impact is unquestionable. As we delve deeper into the fringe extensions of this theory, we encounter concepts that may seem far-fetched, yet they have found resonance within certain circles. One such concept is that of interdimensional beings. Proponents of this idea suggest that beings from other dimensions have interacted with humanity throughout history, influencing our evolution and culture. These beings, they suggest, might be the source of our folklore, myths, and fairy tales. Another layer of the ancient astronaut theory that is gaining traction is the hypothesis of ancient hybrid bloodlines. This theory posits that the human race is not purely terrestrial in origin, but the result of an ancient intermingling of human and extraterrestrial DNA. Some proponents even suggest that certain families or bloodlines have maintained their extraterrestrial genetics across the millennia, accounting for stories of royal or noble families with otherworldly powers or knowledge. In parallel, there are theories about suppressed alien technologies. These theories suggest that ancient civilizations had access to advanced technologies, possibly of extraterrestrial origin, which have been lost or hidden over time. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the Nazca Lines, and the Moai statues of Easter Island are often cited as evidence of this lost technology. There are also speculations about the extraterrestrial origins of humanity itself. Some researchers propose that life on Earth was seeded by extraterrestrials, an idea known as panspermia. According to this theory, microorganisms or biochemical precursors of life could have been transported to Earth by comets, meteoroids, or even deliberate alien activity. These fringe theories, while controversial, add an intriguing dimension to the ancient astronaut hypothesis. They suggest a deeply interconnected universe where beings from different dimensions or distant stars have influenced the course of human history. While these theories may seem radical or esoteric to some, it's important to note the role they play in challenging our understanding of reality and history. They invite us to question the accepted narratives and to entertain possibilities beyond the known. They push the boundaries of our imagination and our understanding of the universe. Whether or not one subscribes to these theories, their exploration opens up new avenues of thought. They encourage us to look beyond our immediate reality and to consider the potential complexities of our universe. They prompt us to question our place in the cosmos and perhaps even our own origins. In exploring these theories, we are reminded of the vastness of the universe and the endless possibilities it holds. We are reminded that even in our modern era, with all our scientific advancements, there is still so much we don't know. And perhaps, in the stories of our ancestors, in the myths and fairy tales that have been passed down through generations, we might find clues to these mysteries. To fully grasp the meaning behind the question, are fairy tales memories of ancient alien encounters? We must acknowledge the unresolved mysteries and contradictions that challenge our conventional understanding of history. We must also admit that there are gaps in our knowledge, pieces that don't fit into the mainstream puzzle. For instance, how do we explain the eerily similar tales of sky beings found in diverse cultures across the globe? Or the intricate knowledge of celestial bodies demonstrated by our ancestors, seemingly beyond their technological capability? These questions remain unanswered, and the mainstream historical narrative fails to provide satisfactory explanations. Ancient structures like the Great Pyramid of Giza and the Nazca Lines stand as testaments to the prowess of our ancestors, yet their construction still challenges our modern understanding of engineering and technology. How were these feats achieved with supposedly primitive tools? Could there have been extraterrestrial guidance, as some theorists suggest? Equally perplexing are the theories around the origin of humanity itself. If we consider panspermia, the idea of life being seeded by extraterrestrials, it compels us to question our very identity. Are we in some way descendants or creations of beings from distant stars? These theories, while speculative and often dismissed by mainstream academia, are essential in our quest to understand our past. They urge us to question, to probe, to look beyond the known. They challenge us to reconsider our understanding of history itself. Yet, as we delve into these theories, we must also maintain a critical, discerning mind. While it's important to explore alternative narratives, it's equally important to base our conclusions on empirical evidence and logical reasoning. The line between speculation and reality can be thin, and it's our responsibility to tread it carefully. In the end, whether we believe that fairy tales are memories of ancient alien encounters or simply the products of our ancestors' imaginations, they remind us of our inherent curiosity and our continuous search for understanding. They stand as enduring symbols of the human spirit, always seeking, always questioning. As we reflect on these theories, let us remember that our understanding of the universe and our place in it is ever evolving. Just as our ancestors looked up at the stars and spun tales of celestial beings, we too continue to gaze at the cosmos, wondering what secrets it holds. And perhaps in our search for answers, we might find that our fairy tales, myths, and legends are not mere stories, but keys to unlocking the mysteries of our past. As we continue this journey of exploration and discovery, let us not dismiss the tales of our ancestors, but rather see them as invitations to rethink history itself. Thanks for listening. This has been another episode of Ancient Astronauts. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.